the interesting side effects of digitization is that we sort of have fundamentally, we the end digital consumers, there has been a reset of our expectations. We're very, I may say, unreasonable sometimes in terms of what we expect out of how applications perform. And you look at a typical execution model of an individual working on a laptop. You are checking your mail and then you're trying to do some transaction, and if the page takes some time to load, you will perhaps quickly switch over and see what's latest on my Twitter network. So performance and security are becoming very, very central part to what is going to decide how your application is going to be adopted. A few seconds of delay in the average response time can mean a significant impact on the kind of or number of transactions end users will do on your website or on your mobile app. And needless to say, one security vulnerability, one security mishap, and that can cause irreparable damage to your brand and brand equity. And given that there are so many choices out there, nobody would want to sort of try it again. And the problem situation is becoming more and more complex because the application architectures are becoming very complex. The kind of application development frameworks you are using, the kind of network deployment models that you're using, complexity that cloud is bringing into the equation, everything is making, and more applications are now complex application architecture, which means that one experience that you see is some total of 20 different services that come together into making an application. So users are expecting better performance and better security. The world is becoming more complex, and that's a challenge for an organization. How do you build applications which perform well and which are absolutely secure? And again, if you look back at the kind of challenges our clients have been facing, let me present some very simple examples. Okay, 1,000 users simultaneously use a website, and the website slows down to a level that it doesn't work. Or I have built a great mobile application, and when multiple users try to synchronize data, it sort of freezes up. Okay, or I'm building a great application, and I turned on location-based services, which is important to create the great customer experience, and battery drains like crazy, and the consumers are not going to try twice or thrice. It's not going to work out. Now, given such a situation, how do you really figure out what's wrong? So that's one instance when you could use the services and capabilities of Brilio Performance and Scalability Lab. Deep set of expertise, great intellectual properties, great frameworks, and some partnerships using which we are able to do in-depth analysis. And application performance today is not about how server scales up. It's an important parameter, but not the only parameter. What choice you use of a programming language has an impact. There have been clients that we've been working with where when you work with an e-banking application, everything works well. But when the same e-banking application is exposed in the form of a mobile banking application and the same number of users are using, the performance suddenly drops down because the fundamental behavioral patterns are very different. One of the clients told us, I don't know what gets into the heads of the user. You give them a mobile banking app and they check their balances 20 times a day. You don't do it when you work with a web application. And what's the concept of log off in your mobile application? You just use it and it goes in the background. You go to an e-banking system, you will log in and log off. So your sessions are up and on till the system signs them off. So there are deeper manifestations of user behaviors, the characteristics of individual mediums, the kind of choices that you use, the kind of development JavaScripting frameworks that you may use in the front end may have an impact on how much of transactions are cached, and then suddenly they're blasted towards the backend network, and that creates new kind of environments. So we work with our clients in number one, identifying problems that they have observed and solving them. Second, proactively doing an analysis and figuring out which could be potential vulnerabilities. Recommendations in terms of how you can re-architect, redesign your application, you can performance engineer the application. And then why to just do it when you have problem? How to bring in the non-functional thinking through your SDLC. So our consultants work with your existing application when they are being built to build in some of these capabilities and skills there. And the same applies for security. You have an application and suddenly the application sessions are hijacked and passwords are stolen. Or you're using a mobile application, there's a lot of critical data that is being locally cached and mobile phone get lost. Can somebody get handle on that, break it and get hold of sensitive data? All those challenges require a critical look at how you have done. So we do things from static code analysis to doing vulnerability analysis to certifying your application for OWASP and SANS compliance and making sure that what you are building, number one, issues can be addressed, number two, the potential vulnerabilities can be addressed, and number three, there are net new vulnerabilities that are coming up every day. So when you engage with the lab on an ongoing basis, will not just help you optimize your existing applications, but make sure that on an ongoing way, in a very proactive manner, we can address some vulnerabilities that you may experience in future. So that's in a nutshell what Brilio's Scalability and Performance Lab is all about.